It's coming, an all-new look for WNCT 9 News. This is WNCT 9 on your side, Morning Edition.
Tens of thousands of people could be fired this week as states like New York force workers to get vaccines. Plus, the man who shot President Reagan will soon be set free. Why it's happening 40 years later. And time is ticking in Congress for a budget deal. What we can expect to happen this week to avoid a government shutdown. Not on Your Side Morning Edition at 6 starts right now. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us here on this Tuesday. A little bit warmer start to our day than yesterday. Going to be hot and humid today, Alex. Yeah, that's right. It is certainly a more mild start to the day, Julianne, by a good 5 to 15 degrees. But the big question is, do you still need that extra layer? Did you grab the extra layer, Julianne, heading out the door? I do always, because it's cold in here. So I just put it on before I leave. That was a rhetorical question. I gotcha. But you might not need it this morning. That's right. You may not need it this morning. You may not need as heavy as a layer this morning because temperatures are no longer in the 40s and 50s. They're rather in the 50s, 60s, and even a few low 70s along the coast. So certainly more mild this morning. But yesterday morning, my goodness, not only was it cool and chilly, but a great photo to boot with it. Melissa sent in this photo out in Newport, North Carolina. A great scene along the waters there. As we take you out to Jacksonville early this morning on our Live by 9 camera, not much to talk about. Skies are clear up above, but there is still some patchy fog down below, which is very typical this time of year. We do have southwesterly winds that are flowing into the forecast this morning, bringing about a little bit more moisture from this area of high pressure, but also bringing about that mild airflow this morning with temperatures in the 60s across eastern North Carolina. That's a middle of the road value, as some of us near the North Carolina-Virginia border are in the 50s. And some of us in the Crystal Coast and near the Outer Banks are in the 70s. So pick your poison this morning, 50s, 60s, and 70s, depending on preference. You may want to bundle up just a tad, but you'll be able to ditch that extra layer later this afternoon as we head back to near 90 degrees. It's, of course, not our first rodeo with 90-degree readings. We've added up 47 of them here in Greenville just since June 1st, and today we'll get close to that. But changes are on the way heading through midweek. I'll detail those changes for you coming up in just a bit. Julianne. North Carolina health officials say we're seeing the smallest daily case increase in the coronavirus pandemic in nearly 2 months. There are just more than 2,600 new cases. Just more than 3,000 people are being treated in hospitals statewide, and the daily rate of tests coming back positive is lower at 9%.
This is WNCT 9 on Your Side News.
Good morning, it's 7:56. I'm Julianne Dell. The Pitt County Board of Commissioners held a public hearing last night on the county commissioners' redistricting process. 3 out of 6 districts in Pitt County are either above or below the target population number, which means they have to be rebalanced. Pitt County has a population of just more than 170,000 people, which means there should be about 28,374 people in each of the 6 districts with a deviation. So the Pitt County Planning and Development team drafted a recommended map which evened out each of the districts. The board hopes to have their new redistricting plan adopted by the beginning to middle of November. And let's go ahead and get a check of the weather now. Meteorologist Alex Wasilenko has your forecast. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Julianne. Good morning, eastern North Carolina. 2 areas of high pressure. They're going to take over the forecast in a big way today, but location with them is going to be everything. One located to our southwest, another to our northeast, but they are both funneling in some southerly breezes to the forecast today, and that's going to allow for some summer-like feels to return for just one day here in eastern North Carolina. We're starting off the day with clear skies and beautiful sunshine. How about that sunrise down at Atlantic Beach? A gorgeous one to say the least. But look at the flags. They are whipping in that southerly breeze, which is now averaging about 5 to 15 miles per hour. And with that stir in the atmosphere with the southerly breezes, the fog that has developed this morning won't last long. However, take it extra easy in Greenville, Kenansville, and Jacksonville. Just some communities reporting visibility issues this morning. There are those winds out of the southwest averaging 5 to 15 miles per hour, keeping temperatures this morning much warmer than yesterday morning. So as you get your Tuesday started, you may want to grab the medium hot cup of joe as opposed to the extra large hot cup of joe, because temperatures are a bit more mild this morning, 50s and 60s inland with 60s and low 70s along the coast. And oh yeah, with the extra heat comes a little extra humidity today too. So as we head into the afternoon and the fog rolls off for the morning, temperatures will rise. Dew point and air temperatures. Many of us will be feeling hot and muggy by day's end. Temperatures today well above average. Middle to upper 80s expected, all under some sunny skies. It's going to be a gorgeous day to head down to the coast and maybe cool off there with still some warm water temperatures. Seas will average 2 to 4 feet for the beaches with a light chop for your lakes and rivers. In the coming days, you should expect a cold front to pass through on Wednesday with a few fair weather clouds and maybe just the slightest chance for a pop-up shower or storm. Those chances, though, remain very few and far between. The bigger weather story with this new front for midweek will be the cool down it provides very gradually through the end of the week and the upcoming weekend.
This is WNCT 9 on your side. News at noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Tuesday, Alex. One of our last summer-like days for a little while, potentially.
Yeah, that's right. Temperatures today, Julianne, are going to soar well above average with those summer-like feels. You can also feel it out there already. You stepped out for your break, maybe, Julianne, feeling a bit humid, a bit muggy. Those are those summer-like feels that are here to stay for just one day, because as we head towards your midweek forecast, things will change, but very gradually. Things were changing this morning and evolving with the sunrise where the skies, check out all the colors out in New Bern by Clint Jones. He sent in this photo over at Coastal Carolina Regional Airport.
This is WNCT 9 on your side. News at 5.
Good Tuesday evening, Eastern North Carolina. I'm your Storm Team 9 meteorologist, Zoe Mintz, filling in for Jerry Jackson this evening, and it's been a lovely day. It honestly felt more like summertime today than fall, with many people enjoying their Tuesday on the beach, taking in that sunshine and soaking it up as much as possible. However, you might notice these yellow flags flying right now. By the time that you head out Thursday and Friday, you're going to be seeing much higher rip currents due to SAM that's churning offshore, but luckily, no direct impacts for us here in Eastern North Carolina. Just these warm temperatures currently in the mid 80s and a strong southerly breeze. That's what's bringing in all that heat and all of that humidity into our region. But I have some good news. There's going to be a cool down headed our way by the time that you head out into the midweek, and that'll be bringing us that cooler fall-like temperatures. I'll have all of the details along with your full forecast coming up. The longest running newscast in the East starts now.
Now on your news at 5, COVID-19 continues to impact how stores keep their shelves stocked. How one store owner in the East is working to meet his customers' needs. Plus, Pfizer is looking to get kids eligible for the vaccine through testing. The reaction from one parent on the idea of their kids getting the shot. And New Bern city leaders are set to discuss their proposed redistricting plans, the input they are looking for to help their plans move forward. Good afternoon, I'm Angie Quezada. Thanks for joining us. Ken Watlington is off tonight. We now turn to vaccine news, where health reports that say that over 2,000 vaccine doses have been given out so far this week.
This is WNCT 9 on your side. News at 5:30.
Good Tuesday evening, Eastern North Carolina. I'm your Storm Team meteorologist, Zoe Mintz, filling in for Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson on an absolutely terrific Tuesday. If you had the chance to spend the day outdoors, I am very jealous. It felt more like summer today than fall, with a beautiful view here along Atlantic Beach. That sun is beginning to set and a few little pinks are showing up in the sky. I'm sure these people are having such a great day on the beach. I wish I could join them. With these temperatures in the mid 80s, it was definitely warmer today than what we felt this weekend. This weekend, it felt more like fall. You felt those cooler temperatures in the high 70s. Today, you feel that humidity, and that southerly breeze is the reason for the humidity. It's really chugging in a lot of heat, a lot of humidity. Along the coast, you could see some gusts up to 20 miles an hour. That breeze along the coast probably felt really nice on a day like today. I have really good news heading for you. Right now, or today, we saw upper 80s, lows in the 60s. Tomorrow, middle 80s, lows in the 60s. By Thursday, a cold front will be passing, bringing us highs only in the upper 70s and lows down to the 50s. Feeling like fall oh so soon, and I'll have all the details along with your full Storm Team 9 forecast coming up. The longest running newscast in the East starts now.
Now at 5:30, the first public testimony on Afghanistan since the U.S. withdrawal, a review on the hearing and key takeaway points. Plus, the clock is ticking as lawmakers fight to keep the government open. The latest on the efforts and details on where two of President Joe Biden's massive spending bills stand. And Governor Roy Cooper is calling for the state to spend billions of dollars more on education. More on this proposal and what Republicans have to say about it. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Courtney Cortright. Thanks for joining us. Ken Watlington is off. Top military officials face questions from the Senate for the first time since the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Joint Chiefs Chairman General Mark Milley and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin defended President Joe Biden's decision to bring troops home, but told senators there are lessons to be learned. Washington correspondent Kellie Meyer joins us live with a recap of the day's events. Kellie, what are some of the key takeaways from today?
Good evening, Courtney. Well, although this hearing was on the evacuation itself, much of the questioning focused on the decisions leading up to that evacuation. As we learned, top generals advised the president to keep several thousand troops in the region months ahead of the U.S. withdrawal.
This is WNCT 9 on your side, news at 6.
Good evening, Eastern North Carolina. I'm your Storm Team 9 meteorologist, Zoe Mintz, filling in for Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson. And I am loving this scene along Atlantic Beach. I am living vicariously through all of the people enjoying that sunshine, soaking up those summer-like conditions that we've seen really all day today. Right now, our temperature is still in the mid to lower 80s. And compared to this weekend when we saw highs only in the mid to upper 70s, this is definitely more heat and more humidity than I am used to, especially it's fall. It's supposed to be cooler, but don't worry, a cool down is headed our way oh so soon. These winds are going to switch up, but right now they're coming from the south and bringing in a lot of heat and a lot of humidity, but still it should be a perfect night to get out and go grilling, go barbecuing, although it is going to be a warm evening, only down to the 70s by 11 p.m. I'll have all the details on a cool down headed our way, along with your full forecast. The longest running newscast in the East starts now.
Now at 6, about 200 hospital employees could be fired for not getting a COVID shot. Why one worker says she's preparing for it.
Worldwide at the moment, I'm from the UK, but even the UK is experiencing difficulties with fuel at the moment.
Dealing with not one, but many shortages. How a local grocery store is struggling to keep items on the shelves. And New Bern City leaders are discussing their proposed redistricting plan, how they'll take it into account people's concerns. Good evening, I'm Angie Quezada. Thanks for joining us. Ken Watlington is off tonight. We start your news at 6, tracking coronavirus in our state. State health leaders are reporting over 3,400 new cases in the last 24 hours. The 7-case average has dropped to 5,000 and the lowest in 6 weeks. Over 3,000 people are being treated in hospitals statewide, and the daily rate of tests coming back positive is now over 10%.